Hi everyone, and hope you're enjoying Advent. This is a little bit different. We're going to look at some Christmas sort of Bible passages. Is Isaiah chapter 9 and the section where it talks about the mighty counselor, wonderful peace, everlasting Father. Is that talking about Jesus or is that talking about someone else? Enjoy. Well, when I became a Christian, I noticed that this verse was very much sort of picked out of Isaiah as one of many, I suppose, as a particular section that we read. But I must admit, perhaps as Christians, we can be guilty of just taking one section and just reading that and not reading the entire context. Now that got me thinking and that got me wanting to look into it. And actually, a lot of people claim that it's not talking about Jesus. In fact, the Jews claim that this is actually talking about King Hezekiah. The reason for that is because in Isaiah chapter 1, it talks about the son of Amos, Isaiah the son of Amos, during the reigns of Uzziah, Jotham, Ahaz, and Hezekiah. And the historical background is that after the days of Ahaz, which was sort of a bit of a catastrophe for the people, really, this new king, who was a really godly man, Hezekiah, came and brought light to the nations. The people of walking in darkness have seen a great light. Now, if it is talking about Hezekiah, I just have a couple of questions though. Why are the names capitalized in Isaiah chapter 9? For example, what we might call divine titles: Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. Now, what some Jewish commentators have suggested, well, a couple of commentators, is that all that is there is some of the meanings, the attributes to Hezekiah's name, which sort of point to God, the attributes to God. It's not saying that Hezekiah himself is the everlasting Father or the mighty God. It's just saying that his name gives off those meanings, like we know with many biblical names that they are often attributed to God. So the claim is that at some point in maybe the 1970s, some of the Bible translators decided to capitalize these titles and refer them to Jesus. Another argument that people say that it's talking about Hezekiah is that Christians have attempted to point this verse into the future, but actually the verse should actually be talking about the past tense. So where it says, "For us a child is born, to us a son is given," many argue that the Hebrew should actually be, "A child has been born, a son has been given for us," pointing to the fact that it is talking about Hezekiah. Now, I don't know about you. What do we do with that? What do we do with this idea that all those verses that we know so well, we always thought they were talking about Jesus, could actually be talking about Hezekiah? Well, I thought about it hard, and actually, I still think, in spite of all that, that it is still talking about Jesus, actually. The reason I say that is because, from what I understand, I don't speak Hebrew by any means. I wish I could. But the words for us, a son is given or was given, apparently in Hebrew, they can sometimes mean both. I don't know if I've got that right, but you can interchange between the past and the future. A child is given to us. So it's not referring to a past tense. And the other thing, for me, the most obvious way to show that this is talking about Jesus is in verse 7, where it says, "Of the greatness of his government and peace there will be no end." It says he will reign on David's throne and over his kingdom, establishing and upholding it with justice and righteousness from that time on and forever. Now, as wonderful as Hezekiah was and amazing as he was, his kingdom did not last forever. No one lasts forever, but I think if we relate this to the context of Jesus and his messianic role within the Davidic line, that his kingdom, his new covenant, has no end. And also, many people say, well, how can the government be on his shoulders when there were still wars after Jesus came? There are still empires who oppress people. There are still deadly wars. Well, I think Jesus came to bring a different kind of peace, which I think is why we can call him the Wonderful Counselor, the Prince of Peace, the Mighty God, the Everlasting Father, because He brings us the eternal inner peace. So one way to get around this also is to see it that it is Hezekiah, and you can Christologicalize it. But actually, I do think this is talking about Jesus, because it often, in apocalyptic writing, it often helps the people to look to the future to see better days in the present. The future gives them a different perspective to live in the present. And obviously, the prophecy of Jesus was something to look forward to